Hi guys, I'm Nate from Good Man Racing. That shock has about 400 miles on it, and it is full blown. Welcome to racing. That can happen in the Baja 1000. It's a King shock. It was actually one of the ones that Total Chaos hooked us up on, and unfortunately, we did have a really big challenge with them. A lot of leaking. Not when Total Chaos gave it to us. No, it was in good shape at the time. We had a suspension bind and didn't know about it until race day. Everything in its own right cleared and didn't have interference when I cycled the suspension on its own. But in race mode, with the bump stops maybe slightly squishing, or even though they're super hard Delrin ones, or the suspension actually flexing and things moving, this fitting right here hit the bolt above it. That was a hard hit, and it would just squish it over and over and over. So you see how this thing's pointed downwards? It was really pointed up. This is about 3/8 of an inch lower than where it should be. My concern is that I've never had to deal with that issue before. Even my rad flows didn't do that. So this was specifically a problem for these King shocks. And I don't know how to fix it. I'm genuinely concerned that when I replace the blue top hat here and replace this fitting and get all of these threads sorted, I'm genuinely concerned that this will continue to hit up here for as long as I have this truck, just because this pokes upwards. I might have to figure out a solution to eliminate this bolt. We actually did grind this, skim grind it, and make it a lot shorter than it was. I mean, that might help. I might be able to just weld a stud in place to provide clearance here. But as it sits right now with my suspension, this binds on this bolt on the top hat. I got to figure something out. When the shock worked, it was amazing. But when we would charge it up with nitrogen and start driving, you could just feel the shock losing its pressure over time. That was very unfortunate. And like within 100 miles, it'd feel like something that wasn't dampening at all. So, check your clearances when you're installing suspension like this. And even if it does clear by like 3/16 of an inch when you're doing only your stuff, you ask the question, what would happen if it went closer and closer and closer to that? So that was a sucky situation, and it's very fixable. We just have to replace this top hat thing and replace all of these fittings here. Then the shock should be good to go. You might as well rebuild it while you're there, right? But yeah, that was really unfortunate. It happened first on the driver's side, and then it eventually happened to the passenger side as well. So both of them have the exact same failure, with the fitting being pushed down and busting its seal, galling this interface in here. So that's just something to learn. Yeah, all that oily, wet dirt. Good old resume for the Baja 1000. Yeah, that definitely felt the pain. I'm Nate from Good Man Racing. I will see you out in the desert, if not my garage. Well, realistically, I gotta take care of this before I go out in the desert again. Laters.